Welcome back, guys, to our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County. If you haven't already, be sure to share this live on your social media, on your Twitter, send it to your family, whatever it may be. Our weekly recap of Orange County is about to be underway. I already see a bunch of people in the live chat. Guys, don't forget to drop your crowns, your elephants, and let me know where you're watching from. We have a lot to talk about, but just a reminder, we are live on multiple platforms. TikTok, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent content. But it will also allow me to see your comments and post those comments up on our live stream. We are also live on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter at The Kempire. I can also see your comments on those platforms as well. What's going on, everyone in the chat? I see you, the Heathers, Elaine. Okay, Latavia's in the house. Shemeko's in the house. Sunny. All right, what's going on? Los Angeles, what's going on? Beatrice says she's so sick of Noella's face. Oh, that means she might be back for a second season. What's going on, everybody? New York City's in the building. The UK's in the building. HF says, I don't even watch OC, but I'm here for Kempire's chat. He's hilarious. Thank you so much, HF. I appreciate that. I love hearing that comment. I get that so much. What's going on, Jamila? Guys, drop those crowns and elephants in the chat. Let's get into this recap. First of all, let me show myself, right? That would be good, right? All right. Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. Happy Chinese New Year. Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you already missed it, we already posted a video earlier today talking about the ratings for the Real Housewives of New Jersey and how they are breaking all kinds of records for the last year of Housewives premieres. Still haven't beat out the Real Housewives of Atlanta, though. They set all, if you look at the numbers for Atlanta, despite how you feel about the recent seasons, they still set records. People still very much are invested in Atlanta. They are about to wrap filming for season 14. We are seeing all kinds of stuff. We're hearing all kinds of stuff. If you enjoy content and tea on that, be sure to follow us and subscribe here, just in case you haven't already. The road to 100,000 subscribers is right around the corner. And I appreciate you all that have subscribed or that have been subscribed for a very long time. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We see you guys. Let's get into this recap. So the ladies are in Mexico. Okay. And usually a girls trip, look, the bar is high for girls trips in the franchise because I feel as if I can sit and watch the Real Housewives of New York past seasons when they've gone on trips to Mexico or just girls trips in general. And they're so entertaining. I was bored. Not too bored, though. I can at least watch the episode twice. I watched it last night, then I watched it again before this live. I can at least watch it more than once. But they're in Mexico. And why did Gina and Emily not go see this new property? I love Gina's reactions to Heather's wealth. That was like a monumental moment in the season premiere of Orange County. I loved her reactions. Shannon Bedore's reactions are cute and funny. But, Gina would have been like, oh, my God. But I also understand why some of you do not like Gina and Emily. I can see why. They can be a little annoying. Noella might be right. Their IQs might go down when they're together. I know a lot of you do not like Noella, but just because there's such a great feeling and emotion connected to Noella being on the show is enough to bring her back for producers. So even if you don't like her, she's still invoking some sort of emotional reaction from the audience. And to be honest with you, if she wasn't here this season, what would we have? Let me start from the top. So apparently the guys are hanging out, except Dr. Jen's husband, Ryan. We're going to talk. Dr. Jen, did you come on the show to get divorced? It just feels like that's what she came on the show for, because obviously they have been having problems. And if you see the tea about Dr. Jen on social media, I don't know what she's giving us on the show, but what's happening off screen is probably a lot more juicier. Yeah, a lot of you agree with me. KW says Noella is a mess, a hot mess. Exactly. Sister Onmu says, a little annoying. Gina and Emily are boring. Zoe says Noella is the only one who is interesting. And when we say interesting, if Noella was put in another cast, she might not be as interesting. But with this boring cast, and all of you said, oh, Heather's coming back. Yay, we're going to get to see the house. We got to see the house in the season premiere, and that's been it. And then if you didn't see my video this morning about the Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere, they premiered with over 1 million viewers. OC didn't. And you know, Kelly Dodd, no matter how you feel about her, has been calling them out for lackluster ratings this season. I want to know why you feel that that these folks have lackluster ratings this season. Is it because you were turned off last season, or is it because this cast is just not it? A lot of you have been saying bring back Tamra Judge. Tamra Judge says she wasn't coming back because they just offered her a friend role, which means less money. We shall see. I saw one of the other OC housewives. There was a situation going on at her house. Her ex-boyfriend barricaded himself in the house. Oh my God, the drama. Susan Wilson, hey, what's going on from the UK? Shout out to everyone watching from around the world. We appreciate you all being here. If you're watching the replay of this, as always, I want to know how you would rate this episode. 1 being get rid of Dr. Jen. 10 being bring Noella back. Some people are like, I don't know what to pick now. No, how would you rate this episode? And for those that are in the replay crew, I want to know how you would rate this episode, and how do you feel about the season so far? I probably would rate this episode just because they're in Mexico. I probably would give this like a 6.5. And I think I'm being generous with the 6.5, to be honest with you. So Heather FaceTimes the guys. The guys are actually having a dinner together. I can understand why Heather and Dr. Terry work. He says he has 5-year plans, and they just seem like very out. I don't know how that works in the bedroom. I don't know how that works in a marriage, but their personalities seem to be a lot, and I can't even imagine their personalities together. Elaine says a 5.6. Jamila 7.36. Tavares is 2. Tavares, you're tough, though. You're tough. Just simply says 5.54873.2. You guys in these gymnastic numbers. Heather's okay. 5.76. Libra Love says, why is Dr. Jen there? It's a 7. A 7's not bad, though, y'all. A 7's not bad. A 5. Okay. 5, 6, 5, 5.5. Oh, not a -2. A 1.5. All right. I have to say though, these hey Norma, these ratings aren't bad. A 5 for me is not bad because that means it's decent. We can keep watching. We just got to shift some things. Even a 4, you're leaning on bad. I'm seeing lots of 5s. Nora, did you change your rating? Damn. Exactly. Not a -2. All right. Anyways, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this episode. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County. TikTok, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. That way I can actually see your comments bigger and bolder. But if you just want to watch behind the scenes, that's fine as well. Just keep tapping your screens. So they're in Mexico, which should be a fun trip. And to be honest with you, wasn't so fun. Gina and Emily, you could tell when they're drunk. Like they were so drunk. And then they had the nerve to go in a sweat lodge. But we will get to that. So the opening scene is with the ladies, at dinner still. And apparently Emily and Gina don't like what Noella and Shannon are saying about them. At one point, they get up and they're just like, we're done. We're out of here. And one thing I have to agree with Noella, Emily and Gina together, although entertainment for me, it's just sort of like too much kookiness. And I know what you're thinking. Noella is saying this? And I wanted to see all 3 of them together to see that kooky Three Stooges energy, but it just wasn't there. There is no chemistry there. And Gina, I know Noella was calling out Heather for touching Gina's face and like, are you okay? Gina looked like, are you okay, Gina? Because between Gina and Emily had a dirty napkin wrapped around her head. Ladies, you are too grown to be this messy drunk. I understand getting drunk, but you guys are grown. You're grown. And look, a rumor on the street is, you know what? I forgot what housewife said this, but she said, I think it was Aviva Dresser from the Real Housewives of New York, where she says that the producers try to get the housewives drunk for entertainment. That's what she said. I never said it. So that's always been the back of my mind when I see these housewives drinking on the show. I'm sort of like, is this production? Have another drink. Have another drink. It's not cute on Gina and Emily. You could see when they're drunk. Yeah, they get wasted. Yeah, there's one thing being drunk, and then Gloria says they get wasted. Yeah, it's one thing to be getting drunk, but then to get like yo, you guys are grown. You have kids. And it's not even entertaining. Look, I love a drunk moment. Look, as I said to you before at the top of this, I love Real Housewives of New York when they went to Mexico and they got drunk. But these ladies get, like, you could see it on their face. It's like, what's happening here? What's happening here? So the ladies separate the next day. Heather, Shannon, Heather's friend, and Dr. Jen go to look at property because, as you know, Heather is looking to build a new home. I don't know. Do you think she really is going to build a new home, or is she just doing this for the show? Some of you do not like Heather, and I get it. I get it. But some of you do. You know, I love property. I love looking at property. So this was sort of like my favorite moment in the episode. Oh, we're going to go look at a beautiful mansion in Mexico. Okay. We got to see it. But as I said to you before, I would have really preferred to see, I would have loved to see Gina's reaction to this wealth. I really would have loved to see that, but we didn't get to see that. Gina, Emily, and Shannon are at a sweat lodge. Really? And it triggered me because then I was like, oh, I remember I did something similar. I didn't go to Mexico to do it. And it was in a sauna, and the person was waving like this sort of like towel around to move the heat. And it was intense. It was intense to the point where I was like, oh, do I need to get out of here? So that's what I imagine Noella, Emily, and Gina were going through at the next scene once they're done. I wish I had gotten a picture of the ladies in that moment, because I was like, what is happening? Emily and Gina especially, first of all, they had to remove Noella. They had to carry Noella out of that whole situation. But Gina and Emily, they look the worst. They look the worst. Lulu says, I'm surprised that Kempire got the house up on the screen for us to look at. I just didn't have the time. It's hard to find some of these photos on these reality shows. I look, y'all. Trust me, I do look. And I even tried to, take a little screen cap of myself. But that's whole technical issues behind the scenes, depending on what platform you're on. April says, a recipe for disaster in the sweat lodge, dying. Yeah, it's intense. They're all crying mess. They really were. They really were. But did you guys look at Gina and Emily? Gina and Emily look the worst. Gina, I mean, later on in the scene, they were talking about, oh, we're going to take a shower and, we'll do something afterwards. They're asleep. Yeah, when you're in that amount of heat, of course. Of course, you need a nap. Exactly. It makes no sense. You drank so much the night before and you're going to go do a sweat lodge. Dr. Jen predicted that Noella was going to pass out. She was drinking the night before. First of all, she's very thin and she's stressed with everything that she's going through. Of course, she passed out. But Gina and Emily looked the worst. Panama Moan. This says Noella was hungover and dehydrated, detoxing that alcohol. Yeah, I don't know if that was the way. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have almost 400 people in the room. Be sure to like the video. Let's get to 150 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts on the latest episode. I'm not sure how you're feeling about the season so far, but we're already on episode 8, and I'm just kind of like, where are we going with this? I'm not even that interested in a battle between Noella and Heather Dubrow. I'm not that interested. But I'm going to keep watching. You all have asked me to watch The Real Housewives of Orange County. As you know, I was never invested in this particular part of the franchise. I watch every single other one besides this one. KK says Noella is stressed because she's trying too hard. Le Brubel says Gina and Dr. Jen annoy me. They are kiss-up friends who want to be Heather's friend to be in a scene, though I felt bad for Dr. Jen when she was at the gym. Yeah. First of all, Dr. Jen goes along with Heather and Shannon and Heather's friend to go look at land and to look at this already built property. It's going to cost them about $15.5 million to build this home in Mexico. Look, I'm here for watching them build it, though, to be honest with you. Maybe we will get another YouTube series of Heather Dubrow building this home in Mexico. I'm here for it. You know, I love that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it does feel it kind of feels a little weird. We're making this whole to-do about going to see Heather build property, and we're in Mexico? That, to me, should have been a nothing scene, and we made that a good majority of the episode. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, Emily said they Mexicans never seen an American before. A North American saying Central American is not American. The ignorance for me. I know. And mind you, Emily lived in Mexico in her, like, she was 21 years old. You think she would know a little bit better by now? But then again, as I said at the top of this episode, we see she doesn't even know how to handle her liquor. Never mind how to handle a situation like that. Okay. Julie says Noella is to Heather as Kelly Ben-Simone is to Bethany. Ooh, that's a good comparison. I know rumor on the streets that Kelly Ben-Simone's coming back to Real Housewives of New York. Don't believe those rumors, y'all. Don't believe those rumors. Nothing, no contracts have been sent out for Roni just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if she's having conversations, though. Not to say that she's not going to come back, but I'm not that interested in Kelly Ben-Simone coming back. To be honest with you, not that interested. Crazy Beautiful One says, I know she's your fave, Kempire, but I can't stand Emma. Why do you say she's my fave? I love the kookiness. Look, let me go back because I didn't get rid of this photo. I love her because of something like this. We've gotten a couple of moments. Her in the sauna with the sandwich. All of these moments have been TV gold for me. We didn't get any of that this week. We just got drunken messes. I wasn't here for that. I was not here for that. So while Heather, Dr. Jen, and Shannon are off looking at properties, the property was beautiful. She was just seeing an example of what she could build. We find out that it's going to cost them, between the land and the building, $15.5 million. Dr. Terry acts surprised, but you know he's going to do it. Unless this was just for the show. Unless they were just doing this for the show, I'm not sure. Exactly. Koya says the ginger ale was hilarious. Come on. Emily is a hoot. She wasn't much of a hoot this episode, but she was a hoot. She has been a hoot this season. She's given me a lot of different moments that I can really, truly appreciate. Koya says, I didn't believe that part at all. Really? Wow. See, Sister on the Move, the ginger ale was funny. Come on now. Those are some funny moments that we will look back on and laugh. Christian says that Gina is obsessed with Noella. She watches her every move, almost trying to coach her. Really? That's interesting perspective. She is watching Noella a lot, and I don't know what that's about, but she is watching Noella a lot. I'm not fully understanding what is happening there, but we do find out later. We see that Emily throws Gina under the bus and says, well, Gina had to basically beg Heather to have you come here on the trip because they're trying to figure out, is Noella going to fly back private with us? That also felt very staged. That scene with them on the beach, that felt very staged. I felt a lot. That felt like, okay, we have nothing. Producers have to kind of stir the drama on some sort of level. Fast forward, because there really wasn't a lot this episode, y'all. There really wasn't a lot this episode. Okay, because, oh wait, no, there was something that I wanted to mention. Dr. Jen, first of all, Dr. Jen was in pain, and I kind of wish she would have said something because Dr. Jen had a bone tumor, so she had to, she has to work out on a daily basis to kind of keep the pain away, and she was in pain during this whole excursion. Dr. Jen, I felt for her in that situation. Then when she called her husband, and he was just so not supportive. He was, even when she said, I love you, he didn't even say it back. Are they getting a divorce? Are they going to get a divorce on this show? It was awkward. I didn't like it. I feel bad for her. I feel really, really, really bad for her. Norma says, Dr. Jen's marriage is on the rocks, and I don't mean diamonds. It's such a weird situation, but we called it from the beginning. We called it from the beginning when it comes to their relationship. The very first scene with her and her husband, Ryan, we were like, uh-oh, trouble in paradise. It's like he hates her. And I don't know if he was just being that way because he knows it's being filmed, but if anything, you would try a little bit harder so you don't look like you hate your wife on television. Because your kids will later see this. They have how many kids together? Like 2 or 3 kids together? Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat. Exactly says, are the Dubrows You can't tell me they can't find a $5 million vacation home in Mexico. Again, the opinions of those that call in and send super chats do not reflect the opinions of us. Guys, be mindful of the things that you say on super chats. Just because I know it's your opinion, but those types of accusations can reap lawsuits for myself. Just saying. I appreciate you exactly, but I don't know. It's a good question, but just saying. Let me see what you guys think. Kendallin says he probably cheats on her while she's in the office. He seems sleazy. Their relationship doesn't seem solid, and I really felt bad for her as she's going. She's in pain. She's on the elliptical. She's in pain. She's trying to get support from him, and I did like the conversation that Dr. Jen has with Heather, because I think Heather does understand her a little bit more than anyone else, and I understand why a lot of people feel as if that relationship is weird, and it seems like Dr. Jen is sucking up to Heather. But I do think on some level Heather understands her. And I thought the advice that Heather gave Dr. Jen was actually really, really good advice. It was really, really good advice. Oh, wait, here we go. Lisa says, you can tell that Dr. Jen's husband is living a double life. Okay. Oh, Dee Dee says, when you're affluent, you build, not buy. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you so much, Lulu, for the reminder. Let me drop the call link. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, we already have about 500 people in the room. Let's get to 250 likes. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like it. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let me drop the call link so you guys can share your thoughts. Callers, again, be mindful of the language that you use. Let's not go through the entire episode. Just pick out your most, the thing that stood out to you most that you want to talk about. There is going to be a time limit. Okay? Let's get to the point. All right. Let me drop this link. Here we go. There we go. And don't forget, later today, we will be having our Married at First Sight recap. I literally watched it last night. I watched the after show. Shout out to Keisha Knight Pulliam. I was critical of her as a host at first, but I love what she said to Lindsay this past week in regards to the Black experience. We're going to talk about that later today. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Join our texting community over at TextKempire.com, or you can text us at 347-647-2372. Don't forget, data and message rates may apply. All right, let me just pin this. What's going on, Nova Scotia? Hold on. Let me just pin this. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So, of course, the last scene is, and we've gone back and forth, y'all. Let's not go back and forth about the Cards of Humanity conversation. They did enough of that this week on this week's episode. We went back and forth, not last week, but the previous week, about, did she know? But we did find out this week, Noella, first of all, Noella was like, for you to associate this with, I'm not going to say the P word because, guys, that we can't do that here on YouTube. But to associate it with that, I do believe that was too much. But we also found out that Noella says, well, I got her the cards, I got her t-shirt, I got her shoelaces. It was a bunch of different things. And I said it when we were talking about it the first time. I was like, I don't think she even thought that deep into it. And Noella literally says that this week in this week's episode. But I do agree that Noella could just be like, I'm sorry that was even in there. And I'm sorry that was not my intention. That's all she had to say. And then we would have had peace. But her reaction to Heather reading the cards, like, oh my gosh. I was just like, oh God, Noella. Just when I tried to defend you. I can't. Thank you so much, CM Leedy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you so much for the super chat. RHOC is a nice comfort after the racism of Jenny and the hounding of Meredith over her father, not to mention the ghastly RHO and Jay. My name is Chris. Oh, thank you, Chris, for that. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that and appreciate the super chat. Guys, if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. Alex says, Dr. Jen's husband's part of the down low, how you doing community. My radar is sounding off loudly. Just saying, really? I just think he doesn't like her. I don't know if it's that. To be honest with you. I really don't know if it's that. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are recapping the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County. So much great things are happening today in regards to our recap. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. We're going to bring up Rasani. Rasani, I see you're backstage. We're going to ask you your thoughts on this week's episode. What's going on, Rasani?
Nothing, Kempire. How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good.
What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was an okay episode. It wasn't bad. I would probably give it a 7.5. 934, I give you the Danielle gymnastic numbers.
Always, you guys.
The sweat box. I remember seeing, I don't know if you've ever watched Total Bellas.
No.
I forget the name of which one. I think it was Nikki or the other sister, whichever one, the one that's married to the other wrestler. They had done a retreat. I can't remember where in what state, and they did something similar to that. And he came out of it, and it was almost like a come to Jesus moment. And it was just like, oh, I'd really like to try something like that one of these days. So it was surprising to see. Well, I'm not really surprised to see that. No, I'm not weight shaming anyone. Noella is not the thickest person in the bunch. She's very, very slender, so I'm not surprised that happened to her in the sweat box.
Oh, no, I don't think that'd be weight shaming. I literally said that before. I said I think the combination of the drinking, being dehydrated, the stress that she's going through, and also she's very thin.
So I think that was a combo event for her. Yeah. But it's interesting. I'd like to try it one of these days.
That's fine.
I have some weight that I need. I have some fat that I need to sweat off.
I don't think that's very temporary when that happens, y'all.
Listen, 2 pounds, you're rejoicing.
Oh.
I think overall, Noella coming on for her first season, I think she's trying too hard. I think it's like way, way, way too much. It's like you're attacking Heather, but you don't really have a specific reason why you're attacking Heather. Why are you attacking Heather?
Yeah.
First, you're going to go with the whole Nicole thing. It's like, oh, she thinks that Heather told Nicole not to talk about the lawsuit. Okay, even if that were the conversation, if they had that conversation, that's fine. Nicole is a grown woman to decide if she's going to continue doing that or try to maintain her friendship with Heather. That's actually none of your business, and it shouldn't affect you with coming in. I think because Heather was the gem that's coming back to save OC, so to say. Like how everyone goes after Nene?
Yeah.
All the new, I think that was it. I know we don't want to discuss the card too much, I just
What do you have to say, Rasani? We know you had a lot to say last time when we discussed this topic.
I just have to say, first of all, the word that she used was a little bit much, Heather.
Yes.
Inappropriate would have been a more appropriate word to use.
Mm.
From Noella's standpoint, she's a parent. If she feels like you gave her child an inappropriate gift, your response should have been, really, what was inappropriate about it? Then Heather could go, it said this, and that. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even realize. I apologize. I'm sorry. We must keep in mind that I think from the perspective of a heterosexual person, when we think of LGBTQIAX community, I'm sorry, that's my niece. We don't necessarily think kids. We think adults. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
So then I think like a lot of these things would be more geared to adults in the community than for, a 17, 15, 13-year-old child that's coming into their own that way. Just my thought. Don't chew me up in the chat.
No, I'm going to remind you that the cards were 17 and up. Just saying. And her daughter is 17. Just saying.
No. I mean that's fine, but that's more for a sibling to give it to another sibling or a friend to give it to a friend, but not for a grown woman to give it to. And I mean, at least if you're gonna give a kid a gift, read the description of the gift before you give the kid the gift.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
She didn't do her due diligence in that regard. And I don't think it was intentional. I really don't. I don't think it was intentional at all. But she could have just easily squashed that whole situation by saying, "I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you or to give your daughter something like that."
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't read the cards. I apologize. Oh my God. And it would have been squashed, done with, over with. But Noella does want a moment. So giving it to her. Sorry. I know you like her. And I do love Gina and her sandwiches and her ginger ale.
I know. Classic moments this season. Rasani,
Emily, sorry.
Get it right. Rasani, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for having me. Catch you later.
Bye. All right. I do want to just because I start some of the comments that you guys said. Crazy Beautiful says, right, Kempire, the words "I'm sorry" aren't that difficult to say. I felt so cringe when she started accusing Heather of straight fragility. Let's talk about that. I do think that was a bit much, Noella. But Heather's response, I have kids, that's the same equivalent of saying I have a black friend. I get what she's trying to say in that moment, but to me, that's just the same equivalent. Oh, I have a black friend. But I don't think there was any straight fragility in regards to Heather. I really don't. Crazy Beautiful Len says the P word was exaggeration from Heather. Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Desleen says, I don't get how you do. Oh, I don't get how you doing from Dr. Jensen. Yeah, I don't know if I get that, but maybe I need to rewatch. I'm not sure. April says, why wasn't it clicking for Noella to apologize for the birthday gift? I don't know. I think Noella just understands the assignment of, I need to stir the pot. Zoe, thank you so much for another super chat. Zoe says, if Noella just apologized, the episode would be over. I know. I thought the same thing. It's literally as it's coming out of my mouth. I said, but then we wouldn't have anything. Sweet Tea, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. Let me just see what everyone else is saying in the chat, guys. If you haven't liked the video, we have almost 500 people in the room. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And speaking of supporting the channel, get your coldest water bottle. Y'all know I love my coldest water bottle. Get your coldest water bottle today. Keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. Comes in multiple sizes, multiple colors, and you get a discount. KEMP10 for 10% off. Again, KEMP10 for 10% off. And they don't just have coldest water bottles. Someone told me the other day they got pillows there. I was like, I need to go check that out. Be sure to check out coldest.com for more information. More information is available in the description of this video. Okay. But you're right. If Noella did not make a big deal about it, if she had just squashed the situation, this episode would be nothing. We would have nothing. Sweet Tea, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Sweet Tea?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
You sound far away. Do you have headphones on?
Yeah, I do. I have new AirPod Pros. I don't like them. I'm gonna get my old ones. Hold on,
No,
I'm right next to
no,
it.
just take them off because for some reason StreamYard doesn't work well with headphones for some reason.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Is that better?
Yeah, can you hear me, or is there a delay? I think there's Sweetie. I think there might be a delay. Do me a favor, just call right back in. There's a little bit of delay, and I want to be able to go back and forth with you. So just call back on in. Guys, if you just joined us, we are recapping the Real Housewives of Orange County's latest episode. As you know, last week we had a break from the show, a much needed break. And here we are. It's already Thursday. Can you believe it's already Thursday? I saw someone in the chat mention the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, we will be recapping that tomorrow. I give people, today, it just came out today. I try to give people a little bit of a moment. When we first started talking about the reboot, we recapped it the same day. People need some time. They need some time to marinate. They need some time to watch it again. This is the finale. I don't want you guys to say any spoilers. I don't want to say any spoilers. Be sure we will be here tomorrow. We have a recap of the Real Housewives of Miami tomorrow. And we have a recap of And Just Like That. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to bring your best shoes and something spicy to drink for that. It's going to be major. Let's bring Sweet Tea back up. Sweet Tea, what's going on?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm a part of the replay crew. At home working today. We're snowed in. I'm in New York. And so I caught you on live. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I've seen every episode of every franchise. I'm going to say this first. OC was actually one of my favorites. New York is my number one favorite. But this is the reason why. Because when the girls go on vacation, they have fun. Yeah. They have fun. They get drunk. They really act like it's a girls' trip and they enjoy themselves. And it's done. It's over with. But unlike in Atlanta and other cities, when they go on vacation, they have fights. Like they have fun in Atlanta, but Kenya told it, So that is why I liked New York and OC the best. Now, I'm not a fan of this OC cast. Back when it was Tamra, Shannon, and Vicky, and they were at Andalays on vacation having fun, I preferred that cast. But Gina and Emily, them together, they kind of give comic relief. Without them, it would be no show, if you ask me. I didn't understand why no one liked Noella, because I liked her in the beginning, and I felt sorry for her because of the husband situation and so forth and so on. But after the episode last night, I understand why people don't like her.
Explain.
Because when Heather said, when she walked in and the energy changed, and Heather said, "This is why I didn't want to invite her," you could see how they even though Heather was controlling the dinner, by I'm gonna order everybody this and so forth and so on. When Noella entered, it was just a dark cloud. Ooh. She made it all about her. Ooh. She literally made it all about her. When they brought up the eating thing, she was like, "Oh my God, well, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take a piece of my potato," and da-da-da. She stormed off, went to the bathroom. After last night, my opinion of Noella changed.
But do you think she's necessary for the show, at least for this season?
I'm not saying that I want her off the show. Like, she can come back. Like, just same kind of like, I don't care for Kenya, but I like her on the show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of the same type of situation. Like, I like her for this to be on the show because you need that type of character. But I now understand why a lot of people don't like her.
Damn.
And
what do you
I would like Tamra to come back. I would like Tamra to come back because Tamra will get it popping. She'll get it started. She'll tell the tea. She'll play telephone. But then she'll also go on vacation and get drunk with you, have fun, stand on top of the bar, show her boobs. Like, she's a good time. Yeah. If you go back and watch some of those old OC vacations, you will laugh hysterically the same way like you laugh at the New York vacations. Like when they went to Bethany's down there in Mexico, and she took them on a tour, and they were swinging across the pool and jumping in, and same with the old OC. So I would like to see Tamra back. I just don't know if it would be the same without Vicky, but Tamra would have Shannon. I don't like Shannon with these girls.
Why is that? You feel like Shannon is what? Different?
Because when Emily and what's the other one name? Gina. When Emily and Gina first came to the scene, Shannon did not like them. She was like, no, y'all stay over there. I don't like them. I don't know them. I don't want to talk to them. Now that Shannon has no allies, she has no choice but to be chummy with them. And I think it's fake. I don't think it's genuine. She's only doing it because her two allies are gone.
Wow. Damn. That's rough. But I feel like a lot of people, because I see the comments where people talk about this. A lot of people want Tamra back. Some people do want Vicky back as well, but overwhelmingly, I'm hearing people want Tamra back. So don't be surprised, because Bravo is paying attention to what you guys are saying. So it wouldn't shock me that Tamra comes back next season as a full-time housewife. From what we're hearing, she did not come back because they were just offering her a friend of. Do you think that she should be a full-time housewife or a friend of?
No, I think that if she come back, she should be a full-time housewife. I think that she earned her stripes enough to have the respect to be an actual housewife. She not only does she bring the fun, but she's been through a whole lot on the show. Like, she's one of those girls who really puts her life out there. When she was with Simon and he was treating her bad, and then when they divorced and she lost the custody and the daughter wasn't talking to her, she let all of that go on the show. So she's one of those women who don't hold back. Like, you'll get a full storyline and it's her real life. That's what I liked about her also.
But why do you think that producers wanted to just offer her a friend of? Do you think it was money that they, we've heard the Real Housewives franchise are lacking when it comes to the money department? Well, not lacking. They are being very budget conscious. Do you think it was because of that, or was it because she didn't have a story?
Well, it could have been partially because like her life now is not the same, like as traumatic as it was back in the day, maybe. It could also be about money too, but also you have to remember Tamra is a firecracker. She is Spitfire. So she is not one, in my eyes, to easily manipulate.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So they would have to pay her the big bucks, and it was going to either be her way or no way. Just like right now, for example. Oh, y'all don't want to make me a housewife? I'm not going to be on y'all show. So it's still kind of like, but it could be, I think Eddie is boring, but Tamra makes up for that.
Oh. Well, we don't need the husbands or boyfriends to be interesting. We need the housewives. I mean, it's helpful when the husbands are interesting, but
in her own personal story, like outside of the women, that's all she has. Really, I mean, Ryan, he has a daughter, but really, that in her personal life, that's really all she has. He would be the one we would see her with at home and things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So her kids aren't little anymore. Her husband is boring. What else? You know what I mean? It's stirred up with the girls.
So before I let you go, Sweet Tea, first of all, how would you rate this episode? Because we had mixed ratings in the chat. How would you rate this episode from 1 to 10?
I would say maybe a 7, only because Noella had me so fired up. Like, girl, stop! Would you just stop? So I would say a 7 because Noella had me fired up. But this whole season has been lackluster, if you ask me. I'm a person where, like, oh my gosh, the Housewives coming on, like everything's shut down. I've been really just watching this season when I can. I put on DVR, watch it. I haven't been invested as much in this particular season as I have seasons past. So the whole season is lackluster, if you ask me.
Okay. And, Kelly Dodd has been very critical of the ratings for this season. But do you think she has a point? Because a lot more people watched it last season as opposed to this season.
Okay. Now, if you want to get it jumping, that's who they need. That's who they need. Kelly Dodd. Kelly Dodd is going to bring the drama. She's going to bring the fashion. she gonna bring her apartment on the beach, living like the girl should live. I like Kelly Dodd for the show. When she first came on, I was like, oh, this girl got some what. But Kelly is entertaining.
Oh, no. Okay. I knew I had to ask because a lot of people don't love Kelly, but some people do feel like she's good for the show.
She is good for the show.
But I think she's also very much like Nene burned that bridge. I don't think we're going to see Kelly Dodd ever come back.
I don't think we're going to see Kelly Dodd ever come back either. And I think that her review show with her husband is kind of like a pick me type situation. She's just trying to be in it any way she can. But I kind of agree with her in that I haven't watched any of their reviews, but if she's saying that it's lackluster, I mean, I agree. It's been lackluster. It's really been nothing spectacular about it this season at all. And like I said, OC is one of my favorites.
All right. Sweet Tea, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking my call. Hopefully I could catch more lives.
Yes, please do. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye. Guys, just a reminder, we do have multiple afternoon lives where we recap some of your favorite reality TV shows. But don't forget, that's not all that you get here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. You get daily and consistent content and hot topics covering music, entertainment, and so much more. Be sure to check out the recent Whoopi Goldberg story. So many of you have strong opinions on what's going on with Whoopi Goldberg. So be sure to check that out as well. Let me see. I started a couple of the things that you guys said in the comments. Gerard says, why you say a much needed break from the OC? A much needed break personally, because going live, covering, it's a lot, especially towards the end of the week. We went from having nothing towards the end of the week to having so much towards the end of the week. And it's been an okay season. It hasn't been that interesting. So it was a mix. It was a mixed bag of why I said that. Tess says, I don't think Noella realizes that she's as much of a mess as Bronwyn was. She acts like she's above Bronwyn, but at least Bronwyn knew her butt was a mess. Damn. That was a read. Deanna says, probably because they had to pay Heather more. They couldn't afford Tamra too. That's a good point. And as I said to you before, we've been hearing, based off of the tea that we had about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, these new housewives aren't getting paid a lot. And there are financial cuts across the board. Part of what the reason why Nene didn't come back was because she wanted a certain amount of money and they were not willing to pay her. But now that we're looking back, all these really great people are posting up the numbers that Real Housewives of Atlanta has brought to the franchise over the years. They're like the 19 of 20 best rated episodes is in Atlanta. Pay them what they're worth. All right, we're gonna take one last call. Obi, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Good. How do you feel this season is going? Because I feel like it's a huge snooze fest.
I mean, I was excited at the beginning because I was just delving into it, and now it's sort of like, okay, we're episode 8. Where are we going?
Yeah, I feel the same way. And guess what? This is the first season of RHOC I actually watched from the beginning to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in snooze fest mode. I feel like it's Heather and her minions on one side and Noella on the other side. Gina is really far up, Heather's behind this season. I don't know why. Little bit cringy. Gina's boo. I feel like they need to figure out that energy between them. Totally here for destructive drunk Emily and the full nut butter, the pot stirring and everything. Emily's boo, on the other hand, moving on. Noella stays an annoying mess. Noella's boo still stays in Mykonos. Fancy pants, at the pool, at the tennis court, throw in a champ room and let go of the sweat lies and the porn gift, or Max will give it to you straight. Fancy pants boo, on the other hand, kind of has a good sense of humor. Shannon doesn't need a third party. Shannon's boo should propose already. Jen questions herself. Is she going to be the accountant and everything? Jen's boo, on the other hand, what did he say the last time that they were at a party together? Still figuring it out. I don't know with those two. Okay, bye. That's all I have.
Thanks, Obi. Obi with the quick recap. Let me just say thank you to Zoe. Thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, the fact that we talk about Tamra almost every episode says it all. I only watch this season for the reviews and our community chat and supporting you. Zoe, thank you. And thank you for always supporting. Yeah, look, now you guys have me. I have to I just have to find the time. I want to go see based on what I've seen from Tamra on social media, from interviews, from her podcast with Boring Teddy. Tamra, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I haven't, you know what? I ended up not watching Celebrity Big Brother. I know premiered this week. I ended up not watching it because Teddy is on it. But I am going to get into it because I do like Celebrity Big Brother. But you bring Cynthia. I like Cynthia. But we only needed one Cynthia. We didn't need Teddy Mellencamp. It really should have brought Nene. Can you imagine? That would have been perfect. You know how they did Candy and Tamar that season where they had a little bit of an issue? That's what they should have did. Pay Nene what she's worth. That would have been TV gold. Everyone would have been talking. Everyone would have been watching. But no, that's not what you guys did. You gave us Cynthia and you gave us Teddy. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm a little behind this week, but I'm going to watch it. Guys, don't forget, we will be live later today with a recap of Married at First Sight. I got a lot to say. We will get into that a little bit later on today. That will probably more than likely be around 5:30 p.m. Eastern. That is 2:30 p.m. PST. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel, and subscribe. The road to 100,000 subscribers is right around the corner. Thank you everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. And of course, shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Head on over to teamkempire.com to join. And of course, guys, don't forget to show love to our moderators. They are always here allowing us to have a fun and open conversation about some of our favorite shows and reality TV stars. Deborah says Celebrity Big Brother was a snooze fest too. Damn. Guys, thank you all for being here. Don't forget, we will be live later at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Join our texting community. That way you don't miss out when we are going live. The link will be posted shortly. And I'll see you guys later. I got something that I'm working on that I can't wait to reveal. Can't wait to reveal. All right. I'm going to get out of here. You know how we like to get out of here. Let's play a little bit of music. Thank you to everyone for being here. I will see you guys later. And hopefully next week, Orange County will be interesting. You know, I'm good for cutting off a recap and be like, all right, I'm done with the show. We're not going to recap it. We're going to find something better. They better hope something better doesn't come on a Wednesday night, even though there is something better. Guys, you are the curators of pop culture, so be sure to let me know in the texting community what you think we should be recapping, what stories we should be covering. We love it when you do that. So let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Again, don't forget to like the video. We appreciate you all being here. Let's get out of here with some music. I will see you guys later. This is True Genesis with Back and Forth.
This up like you always do. You want me back, but I'm through with you.